Okay, so I'm gonna run this experiment in this most ridiculous situation. Okay, so here we go. Today, this is now Wednesday. I've run over on every other day, so I'm gonna make this one a, not a short one, but I'm going to make it where it's gonna be on time. I have faith, it's gonna be on time. So, what we're gonna be doing today is we're gonna be building molecules, because yesterday I showed you atoms. So those atoms of those elements, we're going to make those elements and we're going to build them into molecules. So we're going up a step. So they started off really small, and those small atoms, actually the small particles, the protons, neutrons, electrons, those particles, we combine that to make elements. And now we're going to combine elements into molecules. So here we go. Our first one is going to be water. As you can see on this piece of paper, I'm sure it's upside down. Here we go. We'll put that upside down for you. When you're looking at it, water, H2O, which means there are 2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen. So if we were going to be filling this out, we would fill it out with little O's. Whoops. We would fill that with an H, and an H, and an O. See? So it's 2 H's and 1 O. So how are we going to build that? So for right now, we're going to make these hydrogen, we're going to make these oxygen, and we're going to make these carbon. Okay, carbon we haven't really talked about that much lately. So there we go. Now, as you can see, I've decided that Starburst jelly beans is where I'm going to go with this, and I have these tiny little toothpicks. Now, I'm not sure these toothpicks are going to work, but we will give them a shot. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make the toothpicks a little bit smaller. The reason why I'm making those smaller is because my molecules don't need to be ginormous. Okay, they can be a tad bit on the smaller side. They're not macromolecules yet, so here we go. So I have the 2 sticks. These are called our bonds. So we're going to go ahead and put our molecules together. So I need 2 hydrogen and I need 1 oxygen. So it's going to be a very Christmas themed type molecule. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to shove this. Oh my gosh, it actually works. Okay, so I'm going to shove that toothpick inside of my jelly bean on either side because there's 2. And then, so there's my oxygen, has the 2 bonds. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my hydrogen on the outside. And this is how easy it is to build molecules. I told you, chemistry's fun. So this, my friend, is HHO. So H2O, water. Yes, I am still trying to get the peeps off my plate. It's actually going fairly well. I think they're going to come off. So this first molecule we make is going to be, this is H2O. Got it. I'm going to put right there. The second molecule that we're going to be making today is going to be hydrogen peroxide. I don't know if anybody is finding the names familiar, because if you remember back to Monday had us looking at these molecules on the website that we introduced the topic in. So the next one is going to be, I'm gonna put it back up here. And I realize my C is upside down, but I'm sorry. All right, if we look here, we're gonna do hydrogen peroxide. So that's our next one. And that hydrogen peroxide is going to be H2O2. And as you can see, I haven't put the letters in yet. So let's go ahead and put our letters in. We're going to put, let's go ahead and put our H's up here. As H's are a little bit smaller, so they're going to be outside. So those are our H's are out. And then our oxygen are down here. So let's build that. It's very similar to water, but it has an extra oxygen molecule right there. Well, extra oxygen atom clicked onto our molecule. So as we build this, we're going to need, if I look at my formula, 2 H's and 2 O's. So these are our atoms, 2 oxygen, 2 hydrogen, And I'm going to get a couple of my bonds, which I'm using toothpicks. So I'm going to go ahead and break my toothpick in half so it's not ginormous. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my oxygen and I'm going to stick, just like I had done in the first experiment, or the first molecule, and I'm going to go ahead and put in just like that. I'm going to take my other one, break it in half just like I did. I'm going to shove, actually, let's go ahead and bond them together. That way I don't have to worry about so much extra toothpick. So far so good, looking nice. But I am missing a bond. So let's go ahead and put another bond in. And that is going to take us to our hydrogen. So bond your hydrogen to your oxygen and bond your other hydrogen to your oxygen molecule. All right, so there, my friends, is hydrogen peroxide. Amazing. That's actually really kind of cool. I'm super excited about that. So we have hydrogen peroxide and we have H2O. Those are our first two molecules that we've built. Excellent. Beautiful, in fact. It's amazing. So we're gonna put them back up and we're going to go to a ridiculous, complicated, and themed for today molecule is what's called glucose. Anytime you see a COSE, that's an abbreviation or a, what is that? It is a root for sugar. Okay, so this is going to be a very complex sugar we're going to build. And look at that, that's insane. You have 6 carbon, 12 hydrogen, and 6 oxygen. So we got to pull those out. So let's pull them out of our thing. So the first thing we need, we got to add for the first time is our carbons. And I'll try to flip, well, just so you guys can see it. There you go. Because the oxygen doesn't matter and the hydrogens really don't matter. But that's the, you know, this is for the students and this is for cheer, so she doesn't get complicated, so she doesn't get confused. So our first one is we're going to get our 6 carbons out for the first time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So here's our 6 carbon. Next, we're going to be doing our hydrogen. Our hydrogen has 12. We might have to go back into the Starburst bag. So let's try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and the 12th. We do have enough. Thank goodness. So let's try it one more time. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Perfect. So there are our hydrogen. The last but not least is our oxygen. And as we look back at our formula, because like formula, recipe, however you want to say it, is 6 carbon, 12 hydrogen, 6 oxygen. So we're all set. Now, I gave you a little diagram out of what it should look like so that you can see where the bonds are so it doesn't become all messy. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to line up all of our carbons. Okay, so, ooh, forgot to get our oxygens out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so there we go. Perfect. And this one's a little small, so I'm going to eat that right now. Tasty. That's a tasty, tasty oxygen. Okay. Now, we're going to go ahead and put our carbons out first. Carbons are nice and big and heavy. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and line them up, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to connect them. So with our bonds, aka toothpicks, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start building our molecule. We're going to keep, now this one is huge. So this one's going to take a little time. So we're all going to have to be patient. We have the time. The coronavirus has us stuck inside. So we might as well enjoy ourselves. I could have used that toothpick, but okay, never mind. When you're doing this at home, do us all a favor and make sure to ask mom and dad what they'd like you to use for these supplies. All right, don't just go in and steal anything. Don't go in and play, even though we have been known to do that in the past. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There's our, let's get a bigger one. That one's a little too small. Stuff's gonna be sticking out of it, so we gotta make sure that it's big enough. All right, so there, my friends, is our string of carbon atoms. Carbon. The next thing we're gonna put on is we're going to put on hydrogens. So we're gonna take our thing. Here's some hydrogens over here because we have to put, all right, let's go ahead and vote. Everybody who wants to put on the oxygens, put your hand up. Okay, everybody who wants to put on the hydrogens, put your hand up. All right, sorry, greens won, oxygens won. So let's go ahead and put on our oxygens first. Now, just so that we have a little more room, whoa, I can't believe I was about to stick my hand in the oxygen jar. All right. As we do this, you try to keep it organized because one thing that nature is organized. It helps everybody. So I put one oxygen on one side, one oxygen on the other side, one oxygen on one side, one oxygen on the other side. Not because really that's the way it is in nature, just because you can actually see it better. You have to get a electron microscope or a very serious scientific device to get that on correctly. All right, keep on going, last one. So this will get us all of our carbons and all of our oxygens on. So far, so good.